Kindly proceed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The last sentence of the last speaker broke my heart because it's very true. In a revolution, people have to die. But I just want to say this as I begin. Let's get very strategic. Let's think through our plans, especially the plans where we know there'll be a high number of deaths, like walking to State House. Let's get really strategic. We need numbers to go to State House, like the country, the Sri Lankans, when they went and took over the presidential palace. They overpowered the police. It was impossible for the police to dare anything. Actually, they overpowered them. They took over. They went to the swimming pool. They swam. They went to the bedroom. They took over the whole palace. But they had the numbers, and that's what I want us to do. Let's get very strategic. Let's not call for going to State House until we know we have the numbers, we know we have the traction. Let's get very strategic so we can reduce the amount of lives that will be lost in this journey. Let's get strategic. I hope you guys understand me. State House is the people's house. You know, like the White House in America, it's usually open to visitors, any member of the public. I live in England. Buckingham Palace, the Westminster, there's no place that the people are blocked from, like the way State House is at a protected area. The State House is the people's house. That man is living there because of the taxpayer, because of the votes he got from the Kenyan people who are sovereign. We, the Kenyan people, are sovereign. Here in England, you can go to Buckingham Palace. In fact, all the palaces, they open them for tours. Tourists, people from foreign countries can come and walk into Westminster and look at anything. They can see where the parliamentarians are. So my prayer is that we will get to that point. But let's get there strategically. Let's plan this thing meticulously so that we know that the lives that have been lost and that will be lost at that time, we'll know that we have done our best to protect lives even as we move forward in the revolution. But this is not what I wanted to talk about. I want to bring to our attention what's happening with the education ministry and the education sector. There seems this Ruto government, I'm willing to die for this, even though I'm so far. By the way, I'm a millennial, and my family was not wealthy enough to put us through university. We studied through HELB, we studied through Kibaki's free education, and then in this, when this government of Ruto came in, the first thing they did was hit at the universities. Fee structures came from 30,000 to 300,000 per year. Even that 30,000 was a struggle for many parents, which is why HELB was there. Students could hustle, but it was an amount that students could hustle with the parents and then come up with something together with the HELB amount that they were given. This administration, I'm so angry because no government has done this to Kenyans. In the Uhuru government, there was HELB. Maximum fees people were paying was 30K, 40K for the big courses. Kibaki's government, not only was there HELB and reasonable fees for university, we had free education. Even before, in Moi's time, my eldest brother studied in Moi's time, there was HELB. And the fee structure was reasonable. I think he paid 24,000 to study engineering. During Moi's time, this is the only government, the only president in Kenya's history that has refused, that has closed the door to education. That the only government that is shutting out education, shutting out the poor from the great equalizer that is education. And they know a poor generation that is uneducated, they'll be super easy to control. They won't be like us, Gen Zs and millennials, who question every step they make because of how educated we are. We know our rights. We know our A's to Z's. Listen to this. The first thing they did was attack university. The next thing, Linda Mama was removed. Remember, Linda Mama was taking care of maternal health for the poor. And the first 5 years, my mother is a midwife. The first 5 years of a child's life are the most important. And that's why Linda Mama was coming in. Now, Linda Mama has been removed. And if you, let me try and calm down. If you look at the amount that is needed for Linda Mama, all these luxuries that they're paying for could cover Linda Mama. But anyway, they prioritized their luxuries. Linda Mama was removed, which means the child of the poor mother will have a very hard time reaching to 5 years old. Okay. So for those who get to 5 years old, the small percentage of the poor that get their children to 5 years old, there was another cover in the last government called Edu Afia for children in school. Ruto has removed that as well. So the children of the poor, if they make it to standard 1 primary school, then there's another fight there that they will have to face. And I'm hoping and praying and believing that as millennials and Gen Zs, we will fight for the next generation until all these things are returned to them. It is their right according to our constitution. Education shall not be denied to anyone. It's in our constitution. Let's fight for it with the people, the sovereign people of Kenya. Edu Afia was removed. The next thing, I want you guys to see how every level of education has been attacked. That the children of the poor, who are the majority of the country, are facing a war on every level from the time they're born. Linda Mama out. They have to face diseases, childbirth. How many will survive? What percentage will survive? We know how many will die in that area. I know how many will die because my mother is a midwife. She has told me how many will die. The percentage of children that will be dying before they reach 5 years old. The mortality rate. Okay, so after Edu Afia has been removed in the primary schools.
Esther, kindly land.
I'm landing, I'm sorry. So I'm really sorry. After Edu Afia has been removed, the JSS teachers were also striked off. They don't have enough money to hire 46,000 teachers. Can you imagine? 46,000 teachers are missing in our classrooms. I want us to all get angry. Imagine the amount of value and education that 46,000 teachers would bring to Kenya's children. This government doesn't care. But they're rebuilding State House for 1 billion shillings. The State House that the King of England came to. It was good enough for the King of England, but it's not good enough for Ruto. He needs 1 billion shillings for that, while teachers are not in classrooms. They have no pay. They're not even talking about reinstating them. Let's get very angry. From primary school, high school, university, there has been a full attack on education for the next generation. Let's fight for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Esther. Thank you for that. So kindly nobody to repeat that. She spoke